tuning into ODMA Hype, where we highlight your purest excellence to bring awareness to diversity in STEM. This week we sat down with
So my research is in geoscience education or geocognition. So it's more how to better teach geology and how to kind of recruit students and engagement and that kind of thing. So it's very education heavy, but it's also discipline heavy because you have to, be very strong in your discipline for you to be able to teach and then think about how to teach better. So I didn't actually know about geoscience education. I knew about geology when I was an undergrad, but I started as a chemistry major. I came in as chemistry. And I found earth science because I wasn't satisfied in my degree, basically. So I decided to kind of look around. So I found earth science, the major at JMU, James Madison University. And I loved it. And I wanted to see how could I incorporate those education aspects that I was really interested in. If I were to go to grad school, would I go get a PhD in education or would I get a PhD in geology? What kind of paths would I take? And I talked to one of my advisors at JMU, David, and David Wilson, he told me about working with Karen McNeil, and she does geoscience education, so I could still focus on my cognate and also have that education component in my research. So I was super interested in that, so I talked to her and everything worked out, and now I'm here at Auburn. It's actually interesting because in the Department of Geosciences we have a huge Bangladeshi and Nepali and Indian population, so I find it interesting that while I'm still kind of a minority, it's in a different way, but it's really interesting being around all those different cultures and interacting, and it's fun. I feel like we learn from each other, not only in geology but each other's lives. And interesting, in my department there's a whole subculture kind of Southeast Asian, which is so cool, and it's the subculture of this overall culture that I'm experiencing, and I really, really appreciate the experiences that I'm getting here. I think what a great way to have international students. You're learning so much more about, other cultures, other people. They're learning about me and my subculture out of the American culture. It's that's a lot. It's exciting. So each country has a day during the semester, and you just go and have great food and have great conversations. A great way to kind of, in brief, experience all this history that is with these different cultures. So I definitely want to go to more of these events, I think. I'm the first African American graduate student in the Geosciences at Auburn. What? Crazy. So that's been kind of shocking. A shocking thing that was shocking for me, and my family were that you're making history, this it just doesn't really feel I'm just in grad school, but yeah, it's just crazy that in the history of geosciences at Auburn, it's I'm the first, what? So that's yeah, so it's just exciting to be a part of, I guess, history in that way. I guess in any of the STEM domains, I think it's important to kind of see what your options were, because I didn't really move out of STEM. I just kind of moved horizontally or laterally through it. I moved to a different domain, I guess, or a different field. So I think explore your options. If you're not happy where you are, then find another part in STEM that you may like, or work backwards and find something that you'd be interested in as a career option, and then work backwards, see what you need to do to get there, and that could affect your decision as well. So that's what I would say. I would say explore your options, and if taking a class is a little too risky, so what I did to go into earth science was that I actually took an introductory level geology course just to see if I liked it. I'd done my homework, and I saw all these different majors that were available to me, all these options that were available, and I started taking intro classes, and I ended up landing in geology, and I was this is awesome, I love this. So I stayed in it that way. But if taking classes are a little bit too risky, you don't have time in your schedule, I would say talk to your advisors and see what they have for you, what options, what routes they took to get where they are, what options they have available. TAs, I'm a TA in concepts of science, and I get questions about geology literally all the time. So I think just use your resources to ask questions. STEM is fun. Yeah, if you know where to go, you know what to do. Yeah. I measure success by how much I'm able to give back, I think. Like I want to do a lot of great stuff, and I think being successful, a part of that is kind of returning the favor. You know, there's a lot of people that helped me get to where I am today, whether directly or indirectly, and I think part of my success, or most of my success, will be the capacity that I have to like give back to others and help others, you know, be successful as well. So I think that is kind of how I measure success. I find joy in a lot of things, and I feel like the career path I'm on, I'll find a lot of success and happiness. So giving back is just a no-brainer to me.